Welcome back to Lenz's Comic Corner, Classics Non-Classic. This is episode number 690 and Doubleshot number 584. Those of you curious though, why am I doing this episode again? Because apparently someone told me that my last video of this one and the following video, no audio. So I'm going to have to redo both videos. I don't like keep doing this at all. And now I have to make sure this microphone is constantly on every single time I do my reviews. It's really irritating that somehow every time I think this is supposed to be on, apparently it's not. So, start all over again. Yeah, so this is actually my third take at this particular video, because the first one got interrupted because I had to leave. So this is the third take I have of this one. Okay. So, of these two. Alright, first up it's New XMen Academy X, Volume 1, Choosing Sides, collecting the first 6 issues of this series. On the cover is most of the New Mutants squad. There are two main squads for this series, New Mutants and the Hellions. These issues is when they're formed. And these groups are consisted of these following people. On the New Mutants, we have Wither, Elixir, Surge, Wildfire, Prodigy, Wind Dancer. On the Hellions, Mercury, Hellion, Icarus, Tag, Dust, and Rockslide. Yep. I should point out, though, the way that the New Mutants and the Hellions are in here is kind of similar to how their original version of these teams were depicted. Though the Hellions were not part of the Xavier Institute back in the 80s, when the original New Mutant series was published, they were part of the Massachusetts Academy, and they worked for Emma Frost. And this group, their boss is Emma Frost. Though she's their advisor, not their boss this time. The Mutants, their advisor is Danny Moonstar. Though Cyclops has his own team called the Cornstars, but they're barely featured in here. But yeah, they form these teams up and they have exercise. Also Surge, yeah, she gets some spotlight as well in here where she's late for school. Yeah, well, a lot of these characters do get a good amount of development here. Though once this era is done, some of these characters get dropped at the wayside and they're barely featured after this. I mean, it's a good lineup, but I've got to point this out, though. Is it just me, or is like half the women who appear in both these rosters have to show off their nice, sexy abdomens? Yep, though Wildflower doesn't show off hers, but Surge and Wind Dancer do. Mostly, this is about Wither. Yep, new character Wither, who arrives at the school, and apparently he left his hometown without being properly investigated about the death of his father. And it turns out, and this is ruled by the FBI, his father's death was accidental. And there was briefly a scuffle where the Hellions got in trouble for attempting to break the law, though it was the leader of the New Mutants who tried to intervene. And of course, at the conclusion of the storyline, both Wither and Icarus swapped teams. Wither went to the Hellions, which he stayed up until he left the Xavier Institute. Same thing with Icarus. Oh, those of you curious who Icarus is, his real name is J. Gertrude. He is the younger brother of Husk and Cannonball. Yep, and Danny Moonstar was very happy to see him part of the New Mutants because his brother was part of the original one. Cool. Great way to start this era. And of course, these issues written by Nunzio DePhillips and Christina Weir. Artwork by Randy Green and Stas Johnson. Great way to start this era. I'm going to give this book a 9.5 out of 10. Next up, it's the first of 5 trades of this era, the New XMen Childhoods End, Volume 1, collecting issues 2023, with a brand new creative team. We have Craig Kyle and Chris Yost, and artwork by Mark Brooks. And as seen on the cover, why are these guys here? This lovely lady right here, X-23, aka Laura McKinley, the daughter of Wolverine who later becomes Wolverine. House of M happened, so they have to basically change the format of the series, and they had to basically disband almost all the squads and merge them all into one. And pretty much like 4 of these 7 people are in fact members of the Hellions. And this new trainee squad, which is basically the lineup for pretty much the rest of the series, and it consists of Surge, Rockslide, Dust, Hellion, X-23, Mercury, and Elixir. Elixir basically stayed. Now, one thing I gotta praise about this character is that Chris Yost and Craig Kyle, after the events of the series, basically took him and X-23 and moved these two over to the X-Force series, and still kept these two active, despite the fact about half these on course Dusk got moved over to Young X-Men for the series. But I'll discuss that more when I get to the final show, what happened to these characters after the series ended. But this starts off a series, a saga of 13 issues of the Purifier saga, which continues the next trade, and though it kind of gets loosely wrapped up in the third volume of this series, though with volume 4 it's a brand new story arc, where you have William Stryker make his return for the first time since the God Loves Man Kills in title sequel, where he's broken out of jail by Lady Deathstrike. The other reason why I think they did this because, well, they worked together in the film in next to X-Men United, so why not work in the comic book? Oh, by the way, who wrote that story? Chris Claremont. Yep. So, basically, William Stryker forms the Purifiers, and they become basically a militia, and they basically declare war on the Xavier Institute by taking a rocket launcher, firing at a school bus, and blowing up a bus full of non-depowered children. Yeah, basically, these are teenagers. And they had no powers, they weren't mutants anymore, so basically they killed a group of 20 humans. People who are depowered. And yeah. So, shocking cliffhanger to end this particular storyline, and this particular trade, but the next trade picks up right where this trade left off. And Elixir goes freaking nuts afterwards with the next trade. I give this book a 9.5 out of 10. It's really good. Otherwise, though, that's it. Stay tuned for our next episode where I cover volumes 2 and 3 of this trade series. Okay. Until we see you in the next episode. Bye.